Good evening, everyone. This is your East Coast Weather Authority meteorologist Alexander Bielfeld, and I apologize for not being around for the last week or so. I think it's been 2 weeks. Not really too sure on that, but just been busy with tests and getting under the weather. But otherwise, we're back. Let's get right into it. We have a system right here. Low offshore right now is beginning to form. It's going to move northeast, and on the backside, you can see some pretty heavy lake effect snow for places east of Lake Erie and Lake Ontario. You can see over a foot, especially in the higher elevations on the east side of Lake Erie, especially near Erie, Pennsylvania. Uh, those areas you can see over near 2 feet. So let's get into it. We're going to really spend some time on our December outlook this time around and talk about when our next potential chance of snow. So here is, if you guys have been reading the articles that we have been putting out, here's December 2002 of what it looked like temperature wise. You can see warm in the central US, but notice in the east, the far east especially, cool. We are leaning towards this solution now. Another analog that has been very useful for predicting this year's winter has been 2009. But notice a huge difference in the central US between temperatures. You can see the reds show really warm, east cold. So really in the east, I mean southeast, middle, south, central, cold. But notice in the central US, very cold, very drastic differences between these two. Now we are leaning towards the 2002 solution, and I'm going to tell you why right now. So back to our sea surface temperatures, which is our major climate driver and what you should expect for seasonal outlooks. Notice this, like we've been stressing, if you've been reading the article, we've been stressing this cold water on the west coast of Australia, and what that is going to do, it is going to keep higher pressure in this area. It's going to keep convection suppressed in this region, and what that is going to do, it's going to keep the Madden-Julian oscillation, which is a big climate driver, especially in the winter, in phases 8, 1, and 2. And 8, 1, and 2, as I will show you right now, are your cold phases for December, January, and February. Now, back in October and September, they flip. Now, they're your warmer phases. They change based on the seasons, but right now, this is for December, January, February. Cold in the east U.S., phase 1, cold in the U.S., even the central as well, and cold in the eastern U.S. Now, going back to this, it's not like we're saying convection is just not going to happen in this region at all throughout the winter. That is not going to happen. There will be phases where there will be convection, like this upcoming warm spell towards the end of this week that we are expecting. Convection 12 to 15 days ago blew up right over here. And what do we see 12 to 15 days? We're going to be seeing our warm up. And that's what we're going to be seeing this weekend. So, now, here it is. Here's that bit of a warm up, but it's very short lasting. It's not going to be a major warm up. You're going to see, above average temperatures, but nothing crazy. Not like we've been seeing on Christmas the past, I think it's 3 out of 5 years or something where it's been very, very warm. But this is just a quick warm-up before we switch right back into the cold because of that MJO, the teleconnection there. So here it is for next week. Now, this is when we're going to look for our next potential chance for snow. Now, notice I use the word potential. Not every time you see a pattern like this will a storm come up the East Coast. Now, we're just warning you that there is the potential, and just the pattern is very favorable. As we've been talking, look, there's our negative NAO. You can see the higher geopotential height anomalies over there, which induces a negative NAO, which induces our block, which allows storms to more likely to run up the East Coast. And notice that high over low, that's our block. Now this I don't like over here. This is the EPO. I think this is going to trend more towards a ridge. Obviously this is hours in advance, hour 264, so things are very likely to change. But let's show you what the models are actually showing at the surface. So then you can see, disregard low location, disregard where the precip is, disregard all that. Just know that this is just a precursor on what we have been stressing, is that the potential is there. Now this is the GFS. It's going to be outruled by the the FV3, GFS. And notice that around the same time span, it has the same thing. Storm off the East Coast. And that's really what we're just trying to get. Is we're just trying to get, just here's the potential. It's there. Whether it happens or not, that comes when we get closer to that date, because obviously, as we've seen storms just go like this. We've seen storms, just graze, or we've seen direct hits. Things do change with that, and we will continue to keep you updated with that. Have a great night, guys, and any questions, please comment, and remember to share the video too. Have a great night, guys.